Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of the Dream Chasers broadcast here on YouTube. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about, or we will be talking about, changing your life, and I call it the Life Changer series. When I was younger, I used to ask my grandmother a lot of questions about why people do the things that they do, or why did certain things happen in people's lives, and why didn't they handle it differently than they did. And she would say to me, just keep living. And as a child and a teenager, I really didn't know what it meant to hear the phrase, just keep living. But as I've gotten older and I've become an adult, I now know what it means to just keep living, because life is going to hand you all types of challenges. There are going to be things that you prepare for, as well as things that you haven't prepared for that happen in your life, but you can't stop, you can't give up, you have to just keep living. On social media this morning, I put the post that life demands changes. Whether you prepare for these changes, whether you're mentally, emotionally, or physically ready for these changes, life still demands changes, and they will come. So now that we know that, and we know that as long as we live, their change is inevitable, what are we going to do about that change? How are we going to handle it? And what are we going to do about our lives in order to manage the change, in order to keep living and not give up or not die in our transition? I consider transition to be that middle part of your life. I call it that hateful middle, or the part of your life that you don't enjoy, but you can't get to where you're going unless change happens and unless you go through transition. But what separates immature people from mature people, or unprepared people from people who are prepared, is how we handle change and how we handle transition and what we do on the other side of it. If we know it's going to happen, how can we not be prepared for it? We don't know when it's going to happen. So the question kind of defeats itself. How can you prepare for something that you don't know when it's going to happen? You know it's going to happen, but you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. So you may say, Kelvin, that's really a crazy question. But when you think about it, it really isn't a crazy question. Because if we know that life change is going to happen, and that as we mature and as we progress throughout life, things are going to change, family members are going to die, people are going to get ill, you may be in a car accident, you may lose your job, you may be unhappy in a job, so you want to change to another job, but psychologically and mentally we may not be ready for these things. But we can always be prepared in the back of our minds, knowing that something can happen at any time. And so how do you manage the stress? How do you manage yourself? And how do you manage the things that go along with that? So that's why I've been calling this series the Life Changer series. I'm not an expert. I'm just a person who has gone through many changes in my life that I wasn't prepared for. Some of them I even caused or created, but I wasn't prepared for the consequence. But I came out better on the other side, and I'm still maturing, and I'm still growing, and I'm still learning to adapt. So life change is inevitable. It happens to the best of us. It happens to everyone. But how we deal with that, and what we make out of it, and what we create out of it, and what comes out on the other side is what makes us a great person, or makes our life better than it was before. So I'm known as the dream chaser. I think that mindset is everything. And I think that we should all chase our dreams and do what we need to do to make our lives better, or to actually create and live the lives that we desire. So how do we do that? We begin by establishing goals and dreams and visions, and realizing that we have to have a little caveat in there, because things are not always going to happen exactly the way we want them to happen, and that change will occur in the middle of it. But we have to be prepared for those things before they happen. Take a brief break, relax, reflect, think about what happened, mourn the loss of people when it's necessary, mourn the loss of jobs or things, but never ever give up. Your life will not become what you desire for it to become if you give up, or if you quit in the middle. If you stop in transition, or if you allow change to hinder your progress, your life will never become what you want it to be. So this is my second broadcast in the Life Changer series. I hope that you enjoy it. I would like to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers within the first 30 days. Currently, I have 0. So if you watch this broadcast and you enjoy it, please subscribe, and please share it with someone so that they can subscribe as well. You can also follow me daily on social media, on Instagram, Pursuing Destiny 2017, on Facebook at Kelvin Thomas, and Twitter at Seek_Destiny, and on LinkedIn at Kelvin Thomas. I post daily motivational quotes as well as a morning and evening video. So I would like to help you, as I help myself, to help to change your life and to create the life that you want. My life is not perfect. I'm the first one to tell you that my life is not perfect, but I'm in transition and I'm in progress and I'm seeking after and chasing after the life that I want and the life that I'm preparing for. So as always, mindset is everything, and success belongs to the dreamers and the doers. Have an awesome Saturday, everyone.